Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Live, the secret werewolf game where we're doing a very special scene away from the secret werewolf set on the secret location in secret Minnesota. It's top secret. We are actually, when Charlotte joins Damon per his request. Again, the picture here is a bit darker, so you'll have to bear with me. But it is on the edge of the burbs. Very much really removed from all the conflict there, everything that happened. It's very quiet, actually. You pull up to it. It's not like a super fancy house, but it's got a bit of money behind it. It's nice. It's well to do. You reckon since Damon become a guru, well, he's had some access to family resources. He had mentioned it before. Then again, Maria was never without money. But as you knock on the door and you find there's a little note right there on the door telling you to come on in. He's left it open. He's just getting something. And you open in and you find yourself coming into like a living room, kitchen type of vibe, much like this. You see one room is this, but then the other room is clunked full of stuff. There's computers, there's bits of things. You reckon the pack has been hidden here and kind of used one of the rooms as just like, this is our hangout station, this is where we sit, this is where we have stuff. You can see it poking through one of the doors, but definitely you'll see table with food prepped out. Looks like it's not made yet. It's just more or less looking like, oh, I see what he's doing. You kind of awkwardly look around, you hear a noise upstairs, and oh yeah, there he is. It comes down very slow. He's in like jeans, hoodie, t-shirt, very kind of standard stuff, really.
Yeah. It's up to the door. Probably knock before she even sees the note, and yeah, she'll let herself in. And now, let's face it, if she doesn't immediately see him, she probably takes a half glance into the room and adopts a faint smile because, well, it's nice to see the place lived in. And while Damon may not have accepted money before, she knew he felt pretty strongly about accepting funds from from Sheila. So, who knows what's changed? Besides maybe his mind? But yeah, she'll go ahead and wander in, looking around, just kind of taking in the section that's still kind of as he wants it set. She doesn't even know if this is necessarily exactly how he has it set on a given day, but still, it doesn't keep her from just kind of easing her way in slowly, looking around, taking in just the whole thing. Probably still idly the note pinched between two of her fingers. Though she'll turn a glance back, and yeah, she's dressed, the same way she ever dresses. As well, for one, it would be really, really strange to get dressed up, and for two, people would notice, and she's understandably paranoid. So yeah, she whips a glance around and breaks out kind of that easy bit of a smile, lifting a hand to wave.
You pop out the Newports out of it in his hand and put one in. He lights the cigarette very casually, takes a drag out of it. Trust it wasn't that hard to get here. Kind of rubbing his face.
No problem at all.
Just nods. Do you want me to take your jacket?
She kind of perks a grin and shrugs. Gives a head and yeah, go. Takes it off.
Yeah, hand it over to her, and you see he walks over to one of the kind of side room. It opens it. It's like, cloak. Not like I wouldn't say a cloakroom. No, it's just where you can notice there's several jackets. You know what I mean? Just kind of puts them there. It's all neat and yes. You know what I mean? You kind of kitchen's in there. Sorry about the mess in the other room. Cora and Ragnar and Jeremy wanted to plan a few things, and well, they only kind of left about an hour ago.
Only an hour ago?
Smirking. I took like a power nap and stuff midway through it. Since Forgotten Arts got us on double duty keeper wise.
Oh. That checks out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, considering Mark Thorne's behavior, Forgotten Earth has been like, you must do double duty because blah 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 blah. I'm a Black Fury. You know, she's smirking to himself as he's walking through.
Oh, because of that exactly?
Yeah, yes, exactly that. Like the place?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Just kind of glanced around because, like, he's definitely pinned down a particular style that he wants.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a mix. It's definitely lived in, but it's got this very, like, fancy regality about it. It's subtle, though. It's very Damon, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like, oh, this is nice, but there is this sort of regality to it. But yet, you can tell everything was handcrafted. Like, he bought these things specifically because he's interested in them, you know what I mean? And
I'm not gonna lie. She's standing right by the table. She just, like, reach up and lightly touch the edge of one of the lamps. Did you pick out everything?
more or less. Had a catalogue. Went some shopping in one of the old knick-knack places. You know the ones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's...
Found some stuff online.
And yeah, you can tell the eyes are, like, flicking across, like, how much of this is... I mean, it's that thing you kind of unconsciously do. Like, okay, that's for utility. That's just to look nice. That's that...
It's a bit of both. And some, he's just like, he has a little, like, sign with the, you know, like, hanging in there. And he just seems to smirk at himself as he boops it, you know, as he's walking to go, like, put the pots on the stove and all that.
I like this style.
Maria doesn't like it. Smirking.
I bet she doesn't. She's, like, glancing around because, yeah, there's a bit too much of that kind of clean, modern edge to it. This doesn't seem very Maria.
Oh, she's all about the, what was it, it'll turn. You know, as he, you know, begins to, like, you can see him boiling a kettle as well for hot water and stuff, he'll turn. It's all about the classical vibe, Damon.
Oh, is that what it is?
Does the hand, you know the Maria, like you've seen it.
I know that gesture in my sleep. To wave it over her bed, and she'd be like, "Oh, Maria." So yeah, it's still just kind of the easy smile. She hasn't, like, plunked herself down anywhere. She's found one of those places to stand where she's pretty sure she's not blocking anything, not in the way, but just standing and still just turning, looking. Potentially, if he's got the kind of, like, side door / window, stepping up to glance out of curiosity. Not like pulling aside curtains or anything, just if it's open. Looking to see what kind of view he has secured for himself.
Decent one. It's not amazing. It's just there's some nice like, oh, look, the trees, oh, look, the neighborhood. It's like, oh, that's nice. It's a bit homey, you know what I mean?
That's pleasant.
Yeah, it's cozy. That's the best way to describe it. Cozy.
Kind of nice to see what you do at the place, given some free reign.
You spend a lot of time in the Umbra, you kind of pick what you want, really.
How does the Umbra influence interior decorating?
What you see. Try to recreate some things, you know? It's a beautiful place.
Finally starting to see it.
That's how you get lost in there, you know? Smiles. Especially when you see something from the wild. That's shaking his head. No, you can see the wonder in his face.
Yeah, true enough, though, to be honest, the last time I saw something from the wild, it was pretty big.
Well, yeah, I'll talk to you about that later. Because there is some stuff I did want to actually talk to you about, but for now. Claps his hands together and like holds them kind of about like he's like, you know, that kind of like together pray motion, but straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just well, be human for a bit before we go back to the serious guru business, if that's okay.
That would be an amazing change of pace.
All right. You like Italian food, yeah?
Yeah.
You ever been to Broder's Pasta Bar in town?
I don't think so.
Well, it's a good thing I'm here then, smirking.
Oh.
Because I picked up some cooking things. I'm not amazing, but
I'm sure you're better than I am. Seems like I take after Mom. Though I can't burn water yet.
I do have cheesecake. I'm telling you now, I didn't make the cheesecake. I ordered it. I'm giving it to you straight.
You know, I think I would have almost been suspicious if you had manifested the ability to make cheesecake out of nowhere.
It's peach.
That is a change. But
No,
it sounds interesting.
Everyone goes for strawberry, but I tried peach. It was nice. It was really nice.
Yeah. Uses the strawberry or the cherry.
I thought peach. Why not? It's fresh and bit of does it jazz hands? You know what I mean?
Finally starts. The jazz hands does it. There's like that one step of relaxation of, okay, I'm now more comfortable. This is good. Yeah, just eases up a little, like turning a smile over. Just like it's that kind of, did you really just, little face?
He kind of ruffles his hair. It's like, all right, I'm gonna cook it here because I have everything prepared. Because this, so I'm gonna give you a cordiucci with chicken, which is the starter. It's really nice. It's got nuts in it and shit.
All right.
So bear with me. You know what I mean? Holds up the hand.
Oh yeah. No, I am here to witness.
So, how have you been? Like, how have you really been? I know the urging aside, and we had a talk the other day, but you know.
Not besides that stuff.
Well, I meant what I said.
Yeah. I meant what I said too.
Okay.
But oh, besides all that, just busy, mostly by design. But busy.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, it's easier than not being busy.
No. I hear you. I definitely want to be busy. I want to be busy.
Do you self-assign busy work too now?
I got a lot of busy work. I'm with the urge now. You know what I'm saying? Smirking.
Yeah. Yeah, no fucking joke. So what else did Keep Rev you do?
Tending spirits. Keeping up to date with the actual chimneys for the protectorate. You know what I mean? We've got a lot of spirits now, and what happened, we want to kind of make sure that the deals are maintained with adding some additional protection. Also doing some investigation on like what essentially happened as the SEPCOM. You know what I mean? Everyone's a bit on the paranoid side, you know?
I can totally imagine. Was there any, like, curse it out?
No, there was some spirit hinky dinky. There definitely was, but that was more of the city. It didn't actually affect the sept itself. We, thankfully, in our where we are, we're across the bridge, you see. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as I can tell, that was. Jesus,
The birds, yeah.
80% or
a lot of wetland spirits around the sept, so
Yeah, not quite their forte, I imagine.
no, that was a lot of Uruk. So, but you should go to that wetland center. It's like just near sept. It's really nice.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really nice in the Umbra. Smile.
but it's a lot nicer in the Umbra without the mosquitoes.
Mosquito spirits are pretty interesting.
Are they as aggressive as actual mosquitoes?
Yeah. Kind of the.
Do you at least get something back after they make you itchy? Can you be spiritually itchy?
No, you can't. No, sadly not.
No, sadly no, they don't give you anything back, or sadly no, you can't be itchy. I
Bit of both. It's a bit of both.
feel like the latter is more benefit, really.
Yeah, just like
Oh
the hand.
God, what's the downside of not itching?
I don't know. It just feels weird. You know. Like I said, I can't really explain it that well.
You know, I'd say I'll see for myself, but that sounds really hinky, and I'd rather not be getting bitten by spirit mosquitoes. Who knows what they tap into?
No, she got to do deed name.
I would hope you would.
I mean, I'm just trying to, because the awkward
She
like,
kind of grins. I mean, I only say it because it was Maria screaming it.
I mean, I was working, so I only like spotted that, and I was like, oh, it's a new deed name.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Do you like it?
I do.
It's good.
Apparently, it matches my. She like does the little hand thing, like over her face, like kind of Vogue hand, just
It does.
for some added levity. Like, matches my new look.
I mean, if you're a get offenders, I'd say you'd be downright flawless. Working.
Yeah.
Most of my tribe are like, oh, cool Scarborough.
Most people are like, cool Scarborough. I've had at least one person completely freak the fuck out, but
I mean, we live in a get sept.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I figure if you don't have a scar, you're doing something wrong.
I suppose it had. Yeah. Bleh. I suppose it's all the better to have it out in the open.
I mean, nothing wrong with it. I don't think so, anyway.
Well, it's that or resort to like bikini tops because otherwise they're not going to be visible. So,
Again, I don't mind. Smirking.
bet not.
No.
How's God, have you? Oh, thank God. No, sorry.
You
I'm
okay then?
awkward.
No, really?
Just to like brings up the
No.
fingers, just a touch, just a
Never would have thought that.
slightest bit.
Ever. You awkward? What? Cha. What were you trying to ask me?
Not that I realized the answer like halfway through saying it. Felt really stupid.
What answer was that?
It was nothing.
Oh, come on, don't keep doing that thing.
Just remembering who has scars, who doesn't. What's just all of it. The social tally, as it were.
Social tally, eh?
I mean, that's pretty much what it is, isn't it?
Scars are scars. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Don't know a lot better about it since swimming with my shirt on.
Do you want a drink?
God, yes.
I got whiskey. I've got Guinness. I've got more whiskey. I've got tequila if we really want to party.
I,
I do have wine, but it's not great wine.
oh, whiskey's fine.
You don't want a Guinness? Opens the fridge, like holds up the thing, like
Oh well, I mean, if it's already in your hand, don't let me stop you.
He'll pour it out very slowly, leaves it to settle there for a bit. He leaves it for about 2-3 minutes and then
Oh,
slides
he's
it over
actually
to.
doing it proper.
Oh yeah, I mean he's Jesus kid, he's a Fianna. Don't do
Well,
whiskey
yeah, but
pop.
how many of them are willing to just pop the cap off and be like, "This is fine"?
Not when he's trying to be fancy. He'll wait, and pour himself one as well. So, he puts something in the oven very slowly. So he's got various sets of food. It looks like, all right, I'm going to put the main course on now, and then when I serve when I serve the starters, everything will be. You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. It's planning
He's got this literally all timed out.
Mm-hmm. There's the stars essentially.
Oh Jesus. Jesus. So as he's popping it in the oven, she finally sits back a bit, relaxes just a little bit more in the chair. How's the shop?
It's all right. Thankfully, we had a couple of kinfolk that weren't like there, so they can pick it up pretty quick. Just blamed it on a break-in. Maria hasn't got back there.
Oh no, she would.
She's all right. She's Maria.
Yeah.
She always was a stubborn old thing.
Will always be a stubborn thing. It's a feature.
She gets it from her mom. Well, and dad, but her mom too.
It did seem like a trait that ran in the family.
Yeah.
They're cracking a grin.
Yeah, Sheila and Pops always were like that.
What's it like having your own space?
Strange. It's pretty strange.
Strange because it's yours, or strange because it's just you?
I think I'm finally getting what my dad meant.
Now what?
And you get to pass the club and start branching out on your own and sit in your own house with your own space. It's not liberating, it's fragile, but for those moments you're going to have it, it's odd. I suppose in about 10 years I'll be able to describe it perfectly, but for now it just feels odd.
For now, it's just change.
Yeah.
I feel like it gets less strange the more you accidentally fuck up and bump the wall and there's a scuff there. Or there's a water spot by the door, or it feels lived in.
Oh, it's lived in. It's just what I know now is just a very different thing.
You know now?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, I am.
And she finally kind of scooches up to the table. Just kind of leans on it.
And he'll come over with the 2 plates and just set them down very carefully. So he's sitting across from you.
How different is who you are from who you thought?
It's a bit of it's always been there, and like a new person entirely.
Yeah, sounds about right.
If only you knew. He gives a smirk because he puts some of the food in his mouth, and it's pretty good. It's not like amazing, but it's decent.
I mean, that looks pretty solid. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. So yeah. Oh yeah, she'll be doing the same. You know, eating, sipping.
What about you, as being an agent?
Not what I thought.
I bet it isn't.
All my delusions of grandeur were for naught. Kind of grins.
That way, hang out with all the cleats, smirking as takes a bite. It's a very playful smirk.
It's just
Got your dream team.
it's just more comfortable.
And
Oh,
how are the cleats?
they're interesting.
I bet they are.
Oh yeah, Yolanda held out on me for ages.
I
And
remember
then one
seeing
day, hmm?
I remember seeing her. Not in the best circumstances, but I remember.
Oh Jesus, that was a day. I was so close to being resolved in such an ideal way. Like, she actually like kind of pauses, and it's one of those things where you don't think about it. You just kind of put your face down in your hand for a second. Not like the full face plant, just like touching the side of her face for a second. So close. And then miles away. And
Like
all of one phrase.
Duncan seems like a pretty cool person. I've been to his house a few times.
Mike Duncan is very good people.
His wife's lovely.
I don't think he's dared introduce us yet.
She's nice.
I'm sure she is.
Keeps trying to feed me.
Sounds about right.
Just nods. It's typical Fiona.
Oh, at this point, it just looks more and more like typical housewife.
Oh
Okay.
no, trust me. Fiona are far different.
The worst?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be fair. I We didn't hang out with Sheila that much, and so my primary example has been Maria.
Hey, she does the housewife stuff, so you've seen it.
Oh yeah. God forbid I come over and not eat anything. Hmm. Oh, I bet she is. Been trying to negotiate us into a more communal living space.
It
I said,
hasn't.
"Oh no, she unpacked the last box. She's lived here for 10 years now." And
Take it. Probably actually talk to the girl herself. That's how it usually works. It's more respectful that way, you know. It's like you matter, you know.
well, I mean, the idea was me negotiating with him to actually tell her.
Well, actually, go to the girl yourself. Never trust the guy to do it. He's not.
Never.
No, like he leans back, especially with a Fiona woman.
Noted.
I mean, he naturally is gonna do what makes her happy. So keep that in mind. Because let's face it, who doesn't want to, like, you know what I mean? I mean, you would, Felix. Would you rather him pissed off with you? No.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, then there you go.
Well, I wasn't
Plus, it would look.
suggesting you piss her off.
Plus, it would look really respectful. You as the alpha coming to talk to his wife. Oh, throws the hands up in there like she'd die.
You sure?
Oh yeah, hospitality and all that. Oh Jesus, she'd have a heart attack.
So businesslike on the last phone call.
Hmm?
Oh, we went on when we went to Wisconsin. He was supposed to be back on a certain day, and as soon as we'd convinced Harrier, as soon as we'd solved what would happen there, we walked out and Abel was there, at the moon bridge, take us right to the fight where the daughter died. So he was a wee bit behind getting home. She called my
Yeah,
phone.
I bet she did.
Oh yeah,
Piano women are very resourceful.
I don't doubt it for a second.
I remember I used to watch Sheila try to call Dad's phone.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd hear, "Hey, Sheila," and then he'd hang up.
I didn't hang up.
He'd hang up.
Just like that.
I mean, he used to pass off the phone to somebody, and then Sheila would be talking, and then I could tell Dad had ran from the phone.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It was usually his pack mate. Because I could hear her. She's like, "No, 10 point, I don't. Where is Aiden?" You know?
Oh god. Amazing.
Yeah.
I can't. I was gonna say I can't imagine your dad running from anything, but I remember the Nerf guns.
Yeah.
Got very serious very fast.
So any big revelations?
Big revelations.
Yeah.
Besides ones we talked about before.
Mm-hmm. Well, you haven't told me about, essentially. About you, or, you know what I mean?
I always figured. I don't know. I always kind of figured I'd cope better. All of this still processing. The whole thing from oh yesterday. Just being able to say. I mean, when it really comes down to it, if I stop to think about it, not okay.
Who is okay?
Hmm?
Who is okay?
Probably none of us.
There you go, then. Just gotta make sure that you can manage. Might as well chase it.
You make this solid point, but I find it so much easier to chase everything else.
You always were like that.
Feel like the old rumors about sharks. If I stop moving, I'll drown. So I don't.
Shrugs.
It's just really weird to say it.
Bet it is.
How about you? It's been a long time since we were actually able to sit and speak freely. I feel like there's probably a small mountain of revelations, but anything major? Anything recent?
Let us see. Will he tell her? He will. I met my mom.
She kind of pauses, and you can tell she's paying attention because she finally just very gingerly, like not rudely, just sets the fork leaning against the side of the plate. Really?
Nods.
What's she like?
Alive. Really alive.
Then I guess they told you whatever happened?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Don't really know.
And how are you and her?
I don't know what to say half the time.
Makes sense.
Neither does she.
Well, then at least it's not one sided.
Drawn her a few times.
It's like a solid start.
Yeah. Stand up, take the plates very gently and pull out of the oven. She looks back. She's a silver fan.
Oh. There's like that kind of blink.
Yeah.
Oh.
He sits down and that's what he's bringing out.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, two of them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. She looks kind of impressed.
It took me ages to get right. The smirk.
I mean, it may have taken ages, but you got it right.
Mm-hmm. But yes, no, she's a silver fan. Russian.
Do you know where she's been this whole time?
Okay, Damon. This is not one of your best dice pulls. You're not a very good liar. Even, you know what? I would take the pure breed off because I feel like this is the most honest reaction because Charlotte's known him long enough. There you go, Charlotte. Try read that.
Let's see what I can read.
I didn't include the pure breed because I felt this was too important.
right. Let me get into the right place. Oh, for the love of God.
You can spend a willpower.
Oh well.
Just catch it. That is... Oh, that's sad. Do you know what I mean? You had to give me up. Wasn't safe. That's all I'll talk about.
She decides to find a happy in between the impulse and the reasonable response. And just with her offhand, kind of just drapes it across the table, palm up.
Looks down at it. Just kind of puts his hand slowly beside yours, not in the palm, but just beside it.
In which case, she'll just instead flip hers over just to briefly lay on top of the back of his. Sorry.
I only met her because my father got her back.
Jesus.
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't have to.
But as Maria would say, it was a heartbreakingly tragic story, like one of her fairy tales.
Sounds like something she'd say.
Well, she's been gushing over it ever since.
And you?
What you want me to say?
She just kind of offers up a helpless shrug. You don't have to say anything. Just thought I'd give you the opportunity to.
I've dreamed about this woman. What she'd look like. Who she'd be. What I'd... That I'd introduce her to you.
My turn.
What you doing, bud?
Same thing he did.
No. What's much better role than him?
I mean, only one success better.
He didn't catch it.
Yeah, there's that stings a lot harder than she shows, but she will still. I mean, there's still a shift. There's still a sympathetic look, and you know what? He won't catch the actual sting of it, maybe. But there's that like half second of eye aversion as it's like, nope, keep your shit together. Okay.
And in the end, it's just... that. I'm not disappointed with what I saw. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just disappointed in me.
There's nothing to be disappointed by.
It doesn't matter.
Matters to you?
Like I said, it's not
Okay.
get all grim and shit.
All right.
food nice?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Good.
Gotten really bad at this.
Be bad at what?
She just gives that non-committal shrug.
I suppose when you have the stud that is Felix Trimminson at your beck and call, I imagine it's much a different thing. Smirking.
She flashes up a bit of a smirk. I just... all the time that I worried myself down to nothing over so many different things back then. I just don't think it ever occurred to me to worry that it'd ever be this awkward. I figured even if the worst happened, I don't know. It wasn't realistic, but that's the way I imagined it.
Oh, Damon, honey, you're a Fianna. Of course you're going to be passionate about things. Let's roll your willpower. Let's behave. Oh, Jesus.
His willpower is going to be like fucking 10 by the time these kinds of scenes are done.
Doesn't say anything, just eats. You can pee him if you want.
I do want...
Do it.
oh, Jesus.
Do it.
Only one.
So, yeah, I mean, he's not trying to hide it. He was too busy trying to... Well, he was, you know what I mean? It's not like he's... He just tried to restrain himself. He was going to say something. But he thought better.
He thinks about it for a second. Like, gives it a second to have whatever thought, like, have a chance to run across his mind and maybe get right off the tip of his tongue and a little bit further back in his mouth before she just kind of goes, I'm not gonna slap you again.
Can't take that risk. Smirks. Never know what your wandering hands.
My wandering hands.
Mm-hmm. But scared. I figure you got the taste for slapping clates now. She just walk around slapping everybody.
Last person I slapped wasn't a Clint.
I know, but I figure you are going to be like, slap, slap.
No, I don't think I have the flick of the wrist right. Just can't go slapping willy-nilly unless you're doing it right.
Plus, I've controlled myself and put you in a position where you'd have to stretch, and you don't do much stretching. Smirking.
There's like that moment of like, just good sir. I'll have you know I do plenty of stretching.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if nothing else, Sky River demands it. Outright.
Oh, the worm. It does that little...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not everybody's friends with the worm folk, Charlotte.
It wasn't...
Smirking. Trying to
it
name drop me.
was
Is that what you do? Name dropping?
melee
Yeah,
practice.
but how cool you
And
are.
I did nothing but
David, I'm friends with
stretches.
the worm phone. I do stretches with the worm phone. His worm phone is.
Oh, my goodness. No, I just thought it was so funny. I asked him to
'Cause
teach
he's-
me to sword fight. And
Oh, sword fighting with a webfo. Like a
for the
silver fang.
longest, I mean, I couldn't have nobody in
Did
my
you both
pack know how.
did you both shout silver fang at each other as you were sword fighting?
Oh no, I'm not allowed to.
Oh, figured as much.
I don't have a fancy enough scarf. I can't qualify.
No, no, you just have your yeah. I can't imagine you with a scarf anyway. You look dorky.
I always look dorky.
No, you look extra dorky. You gone beyond realms of dork and you go into nerd.
Oh, can't come around the bend into nerd. Never
No,
dig my way back out.
nope.
Oh no, it was such a weird point of contention for the longest time because I thought it was so stupid that I asked to learn how to sword fight and all I did was stretch for ages. I mean, it makes sense now, but
Oh yes, because you're a silver fang swords person.
oh yeah, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell by how I nobly face down the black blade.
Mm-hmm.
Black blade.
Mm-hmm. Because he casually takes a bite of the pizza, successfully diverting the topic.
Oh, she knows, but that was the point, was to give him the opportunity to say it while he was in his right mind, instead of snapping it, whatever it was.
Fucking will he say it, Damon? Will he be a bold boy? Oh, you cannot beat the willpower. You just keeps eating unless Charlotte's gonna try prod him again.
I mean, she'll finally, like, finish the piece she's been eating, take a sip of the beer, and kind of glance over. Was it that bad?
Fuck it, I'm not rolling willpower. He's gonna say this. You were engaged 2 weeks after I changed. What was I supposed to think? And yes, I know you'd have to move on. I know that. But 2 weeks.
I know.
Couldn't even could have given me a month and I'd have been less bitchy.
Can't blame
Besides,
you.
besides, I heard a few things.
Did you?
Yeah, I heard some stories. I didn't believe them. I
I
got
mean,
told them.
according to half the sept, I'm a lesbian, and according to the exact same half, quite the contrary.
Not that. Not that's does like the hand waves. Takes a sip of the Guinness. I heard you and him were a thing before.
Gives her head a shake. Wasn't like that.
Wasn't like that.
Wasn't like that.
What was it like? I'll tell you what. You truth the guy in me. I haven't been with a woman since. And if it pings off like I'm lying, you don't have to answer that question. Keep it fair.
I don't need to truth the guy.
Keep it fair.
Alright.
His difficulty's 5.
Let me scroll and find it again. Here it is.
Intelligence empathy, I think it is.
It is.
Yeah.
All the successes.
He's not lying.
I mean, let's face it. She didn't doubt him for a second. She's only doing it so he'll feel the pain.
Yeah, I'm not gonna roll. He's got high enough parameters to fucking feel that pop off.
I mean, she's right across the table.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no point in.
And I imagine he's proverbially listening for it. So,
Mhm.
no, she pings it off. Honestly, after everything that happened, I only just pulled him out of a bad place, and he was one of the people who came to comfort me, and every time I thought twice about it. There was one person or another at my shoulder telling me I had to keep moving on. And honestly, would have happened sooner or later, but I engaged him when I did because I thought I was marching off to die. I had no idea what I was walking into. And I don't know, it just seemed like I don't even know that it was for him. It was so I had to come back. I know it was fast. But I'd already just lost one thing I really cared about, and I couldn't do it twice. I felt like if I didn't, something awful would happen, and I never would. After you changed, and I dreaded it for ages, I'd always figured at least I could know I'd be nearby to help. And at least if we couldn't be anything else, you could know I still cared. And I could still support you, I could still help. But then I couldn't go anywhere near you. And I'd never thought, it never even occurred to me that that would happen. And I understand why, but I thought I'd be there to help. And when I couldn't be, I started falling apart. Well, I tried to do one indirect thing. Tailsinger scared the shit out of me. And it cracks a very. It said, haha, I'm smiling because I don't want you to think I'm saying something terrible. But it's obvious that she was.
It was his job.
I know. just in all those horrible apocalyptic scenarios I came up with when I was worrying and worrying and worrying. It just never occurred to me that that could be a thing, that it could go that bad. That I couldn't cope.
When was the first time you two kissed?
I think I'm an idiot. I fell for what I'm pretty sure is the oldest drunk drink in the book.
Not that kind. You know what I mean. When did you know?
Yes, to sit back on that one. Didn't think. Actually think. I had to say it was. I'm trying to think because I know she tried her best, but I know it didn't last long.
Nope.
But at least she qualified with when did you know, and I'm trying to think of when she finally resolved it. Oh, but she didn't know then.
No, I'm just teasing you.
Sir. I was like, 11 success? What? Oh, yeah, that happened. Just trying to remember how long after he changed she actually did that. I know she ran out to Felix like that night because she needed the comfort, but trying to remember if she even made it 24 hours.
I don't think she did.
I don't think she did either. So yeah, she sits and she really thinks on it because everything back then was a lot of a blur, which will be my excuse for the loading screen. But in a day,
You knew after a day.
didn't know. Like that, no. I knew there was no going back. I didn't know or think that would ever work. I doubted for a long time, but I couldn't stand the idea of sitting alone.
Here, he finally failed, Katie.
Oh boy.
He takes a bite of the food. He does listen, to be fair to him. He is listening to you. You can tell that just by the vibe. You know what I mean?
I mean, if nothing else, she's not. This isn't slow because she's making it up. It's slow because she's carefully thinking and making sure that what she's saying is accurate.
A day. That's all it took you.
Kiss him, not to know.
He just nods, but you can see it. Oh, Katie, do you know what I mean? You see it. Like, he doesn't like lash out or get angry. It's just this resigned nod.
And for what it's worth, Charlotte doesn't try to reason or explain it away because there's no amount of explaining her side of it that'll make that sound any less terrible. For what it's worth, though, she is, by that point, especially when she sees the hurt, no, she just, let's face it, she looks down at her drink. Damon may only be a Cleith, but he's not just a Cleith.
Are you too happy?
The closest thing I've been since.
That's not the answer. Are you too happy?
Yeah.
Gonna settle down with him?
Like to.
Kids?
Like to.
Just nods.
Yeah. She just sits there and works the lips for a second, but at least for the moment, she is letting him ask his questions at his own pace because she feels like she owes him this much. But the immense It's hard to pick between discomfort and guilt. Probably more so the guilt because that's just how Charlotte rolls. I mean, it's pretty plain. Damon's not gonna have any trouble reading that off of her.
I wish you both the best of luck.
You'll glance up on that one.
He's not looking at you.
She finally just kind of shakes her head and just kind of, and it shouldn't be such a casual thing, but at this point it's been such a constant threat that she can say it casually, and she just kind of goes, I have to live that long first. And starts, basically finally tips back the glass properly, as opposed to like the little ladylike sips.
All right then.
I'm sorry, Damon.
Don't worry about it.
It's my secret. I'm always worried.
Fine. That'll change.
Hmm?
What's it going to change?
Oh, it never changes anything. I'd rather worry than stop caring, so. Is he still looking away?
Oh yeah. It's like if I look away from her, I can say it.
Charlotte just sits there for a second, and it is fighting down the same urge she has had since she was a Cleith to make excuses or to appeal to reason or to offer explanations, because none of that is going to make this any better. None of that has ever made this any better. She actually probably, at least for a moment, sits back and, or better yet, actually kind of sits forward like as if she's about to say something, even for like half a second. And the shoulders almost immediately kind of lax down a little bit. She just reminds herself what happened the last time she insisted on saying her piece. Ends up staring, essentially, I guess, off at the wall because she has to have her head up in order to tip the glass back again.
you want to say something, you might as well say it.
I say all kinds of things, but they're not worth saying. The only part that's really worth it is doesn't change what I said yesterday either.
You might as well say it.
Say what?
What you're thinking.
None of it fixes anything.
Be nice to hear you say it. Rather than just pretend.
And
Yeah. Pretend you're not going to say pretend that you're going to say the wrong thing.
you'll find I have a pretty long record of saying the wrong thing, but in the end feels like it all just boils down to woe is me, and that's not fair. I'd sit here and talk about how much it hurt, but you're hurting too. The only difference is that I got offered an outlet. I had something I could turn to, and I did. And I clung to it. I didn't know what else to do. It was still so ugly. And I'm very lucky that it wasn't something temporary or something where I got taken advantage.
I would have killed him if it had been.
I wasn't thinking that far ahead at the time. I was just hurting. I don't mean to say that like it means that you weren't. It just wasn't allowed to do anything about your pain. And I was almost blind with mine. And yeah, she now also has a nasty case of the not looking. Mostly because she is not going to rub her face because that attracts attention, but if she's not looking directly at. Aha.
You will tell her. Your wedding's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm not invited. I know Maria is.
sits back a second because, let's face it, other people are getting RSVP letters and she still doesn't even know when it's happening.
It wasn't the actual wedding. It was more the engagement, celebration, that type of shit. But I figured you would ask them.
To that.
Because you slap me. He just stands up, and walk over into the fridge and, he lays down the fucking cheesecake. It's nice enough. Like, it's been cut and everything. You can tell he bought this. Baking is not his forte.
No. No, that's... No.
It's better. In the end, they made sense. Why would I ruin your day by being there? By making things awkward the way that was? Who knows what could happen?
Couldn't even hold a conversation with you until yesterday. No, I didn't ask for that.
Shrugs. I figured you did. That's why I didn't fight it.
No. No, I stopped you. Because it hurt. And I was terrified I was going to frenzy if I didn't do something else.
Like I said, I figured that after the slap, that was you punishing me.
No.
But in the end, it's the better decision either way.
Are you comfortable enough with this that you'd want to go?
It's the better decision. It's not what I want. It's not about that.
And what makes it a better decision?
Do you really think I can watch you be given away when that was meant to be me? Everyone clapping and smiling, congratulating each other, sharing toasts of joy and celebration. You two first kissing, first dancing. Do you really think I could sit there? Watch. The Trimonsons are many things, but they're right.
Yeah, she hasn't made a move for the cheesecake. She's just nursing what's left of the beer. And honestly, just using the glass to have somewhere to look besides at him at this point. Finally, there's just kind of this helpless shrug.
You can say.
Just. Don't blame you.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
I can see it in your eyes. You blame me.
How could you possibly see it in my eyes when you can't see them?
I know you. I know your tone of voice. I know your pitch.
A moment. I think there's a marked, like, shift in expression, a bit of a knit of the brow. Finally, she does glance around, and yeah, she's flat out watery eyes. She's been on the verge of tears a couple times, but she's not going that far. She's keeping it in, at least a little. All that time. Every time I blamed myself, did you think I was blaming you?
It's easier, isn't it?
I blamed you.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
Saying it doesn't make it true, Damon. I have blamed myself since before it happened. I will probably keep blaming myself.
Why were you blaming yourself before it happened?
Because I saw the warning signs. And I tried so hard to keep you safe, to keep you out of trouble, to make sure you weren't under all that stress. Because I knew you didn't want it. And I failed. Utterly and completely.
Because you were chasing someone down on the side. That's what everyone's told me. I mean, Cora didn't. Cora's Cora. Everyone else, you moved on. Lena kept it legit. She always does, but they told me you had moved on.
And you were planning to move on for a while, even before all this.
I wasn't planning to move on.
You sure?
Sure. I was planning to go. Why would I try so hard?
And why marry him after two weeks? Yeah, you see, the tears are coming down his face. You can see it.
Told you I was terrified. I just lost you. And
Yeah.
I wasn't.
And I had offers and all this. And I said no every time. You know, Tail Singer's daughter? I said no. And I apparently done a great offense. I still said no. Because I can't. Maybe I'm just an idiot.
Not an idiot.
Feels like it.
You know, it all happened. They said that was it. I couldn't see you. I hated myself. I hated myself so much. I blamed myself. And she, like, again, she just kind of starts to say something and their mouth opens and she just swallows it. Let's actually see if she can swallow it. Yeah. Oh boy. Already spent one willpower. This is going to be a game. Yep. Barely. Which is why there's a tell, but she swallows it.
I don't think you'll ever admit anything to me.
Think you ever what?
I don't think you'll ever say what you want to say or admit what you want to say to me.
I hear it.
I don't think you ever will.
Okay. She pulls herself up a little bit. She's been kind of set back in the chair, arms kind of tucked up. As they both studiously do the totally not looking thing. But she sits herself up, like visibly has to brace herself. After all the things that had happened. I don't think it's your fault, just so many things happened. And that. And being kept apart. I hated myself so much. And I can make a lot of cute metaphors about reaching for a buoy when you're drowning, but Damon, I didn't. I hated myself so much I wanted to hurt myself. I had no other control over anything that was going on. And he kept me stable.
Would you want me to say that he's a great guy?
No. No, I just want you to know that it's not that I didn't care. I don't expect you to like him. I don't expect you to like me. Just don't want you to think I didn't care. Do you have any idea how long after that I kept going to the clearing? till I realized it wasn't my place anymore.
Your packmate David told me. I heard him.
To what?
You heard what he said.
And he got dragged in front of the truth catcher for it. The stupid things he said. I tried to understand David. I really tried. He said so many malicious things. You saw what I did. Cora saw what I did after what he said.
And Abel, your friend. Your friend. Before he started spouting his shit, before he started saying all those things about my sister, told me that about you and Felix. Now, what was the point in trying? It was after you slapped me. After the Trimblesons came and talked to me. They were cordial, they were really respectful. Vanna was, at least. And Freya had a word with me. They came as concerned. Did all the hospitality things. And they didn't want me to get the wrong idea. I figured you would ask them to do it.
Oh.
And then a few days later, well, there's Abel. Tell me all sorts of things.
Sorry, what was the last bit?
Tell me all sorts of things.
Shakes her head. I didn't even know they'd come.
They didn't want to tell you because they didn't really mention it. They just said that came to talk about it. Something that they didn't want to distract you with because you were so busy. They felt it needed to be talked to, and well, the two of them were the closest to you out of the Felix's side of the family. It was the concerns they had. They didn't threaten me. They didn't do anything.
What happened?
I just sat down and they just asked. And then Lena said, would it be really the wisest thing? Because she's been in that situation similar to us too. When your husband died. Freya just said that you had improved so much that she didn't want to see you hurt, but at the same time myself. It wouldn't be fair to either of us, and they're right.
just slightly, kind of thoughtlessly shaking her head. She tries to tally back to the state she and Abel were in then, trying to remember what.
We're pretty good friends. If I remember correctly. Pretty chill-ish. You know what I mean? There was a bit of tension, yes.
Let's say around time she slapped him, wasn't that like after Zuri had hit the car and everything?
Yeah.
She kind of pulls in a breath, finally glances over. Is he trying to hurt you or convince you?
Both. Looking back on it now, it was both.
How long ago was that picture dated? It was really recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty recent. That's the only picture they found. You know what I mean? Well, that's what they found out. You know what I mean? That's probably the knot in Charlotte's stomach is this going to be going on a lot longer than you realize.
Yeah. Yeah. She's trying to tally things. She's trying to figure out if she did something wrong by Abel that far ago. Trying to figure out if she did something to piss him off. Trying to figure out where the lines are crossed. Whether or not this has literally been happening that long. I didn't know.
About which?
Neither of them.
Don't be angry, Freya, Elena. It wasn't anything malicious. I could tell. In fact, it was very similar to something my sister and my father would do. Just less piano-y.
Finally gets a very faint smile just because, yeah, she can imagine it. Is Melanie with them?
I didn't see her, it was just him. Melanie doesn't speak to me.
Why not?
She just doesn't.
No. And I guess you can't really truth the guy after the fact, but then again, feeling it ping off wouldn't help, so. Fuck it, I'll be an E.
What you looking for, bud?
Chris basically trying to catch on to. I mean, I imagine the only thing he has linked to it is either some manner of distress or anger, but she's going to I mean, she does the whole thing. She looks over and just kind of searches his expression. It's like, no, I didn't know. I had no fucking idea. And is just carefully watching his reaction, trying to gauge, trying to suss things out. And he's the only barometer she has. So
I mean, again, the phrase. Then the thing, he doesn't seem that he ain't genuine. He doesn't seem that angry about it. He's just like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
his family being family.
Yeah, pretty much. You get the impression that Fianna can respect their shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The able thing, oh, that's do you know what I mean? Oh, I mean, you've come accustomed to the new able stare that you're getting. You know what I mean? You'll even see it. He starts to just go, huh. It's that subtle little son of a bitch.
What I did was the heat of the moment. I was terrified I was going to frenzy. I was getting angry. So I did something and I left. Ironically, I didn't want to actually hurt you. Still broke a promise.
I know.
Sorry for that.
Just don't break the one to my sister.
Not going to.
The 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 wild and the worm infection. It's changed some humans.
What?
That's what I wanted to tell you. One or two, by the looks of things.
Where?
Northern part of the city. I spotted humanoid shapes in the Umbra that were very, very twisted, morphed, painted.
She nods. She's distracted, understandably.
Do you want to know?
Oh, no, I do. Just kind of shakes her head, clearing it up.
It's north side of the city, right in the kind of borough area. I had noticed the wasn't much tainted there before.
The
I
what?
noticed there wasn't much taint there before. And I noticed that things look strange, faded. So I checked the number, and while I saw them,
Assume all the other Therages know.
I do.
nodding. Still, you can tell that. I mean, Damon knows when she's rapidly trying to reconcile, to calculate, to put pieces together. And she's still got that kind of off look. She's trying to just put pieces together and figure out how they fit. And naturally, they're not. She doesn't have all the information. I I'm not gonna do something silly, like try to tell you or ask you to go after Abel.
I can't yet.
I know. I'll be watching from my level. He's got eyes on him. So, you find out where things like these, things he's done that don't make sense. And glances over. He's let me know. I had no idea he'd done that. Thought we were on good terms at the time.
Yeah. I'd ask you to stay, but
I understand.
I want you to.
Just kind of again the measuring glance over. Not sheer disbelief, just looking.
She's looking at.
Just looking at his expression, looking at his posture, trying to figure him out.
There is, of course, the 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 horror essentially of what happened, but there's also the idea that essentially you get the idea that it's a mixed emotions. It's just like, whew.
idea of leaving on a bad note. And so I could throw out a suggestion. If you think it's a bad idea, I can go. Kind of, again, glancing over to see if this is something that's kind of pushing too hard. She's looking for the tells that she has painstakingly learned that are her making him uncomfortable, or more uncomfortable than he is already.
What are you offering?
I mean, it may seem kind of trite, but it's been a long time since we watched a shitty horror flick. It means we don't have to talk if we don't want to. It's been a lot. But it'd be nice to finally think about things going right instead of all the things that have gone wrong since.
Yeah. It would be nice, but
It's a bad idea.
it's hard to look at you.
Yeah, the lips just kind of roll in. Nods. Okay. I'll go. And yeah, she'll just begin to, gently slide the seat back so she doesn't scratch the floor. Get herself up. The usual kind of habitual gestures. Kind of smooth out the shirt as she gets up. And yeah, just tuck the chair back in and pause a moment because The impulse is there.
I don't want you to leave.
What me to do?
No idea.
Sorry, say that again.
No idea.
Oh. Or at least the TV would mean you don't have to look. It's looking that's hard. That's it. Out of reach.
Everything is hard at the minute.
And I mean, it finally starts showing. She's already being way more deferential than she should be. But the stress starts kind of showing because she's trying so hard not to make it worse, and she can't come up with answers that don't make it worse. So she kind of freezes up and honestly probably looks kind of lost.
If you need to go, do it. Just
Or you're actually getting so quiet I'm having trouble hearing you.
if you need to go, do.
I don't need to go anywhere.
No, but it's not about what we want.
Which is worse.
What do you mean?
Which is harder. Sharing a room. Or leaving.
Oh, Damon, honey. How close is Charlotte to him?
I mean, I assume maybe not table between them, even if he was pacing, but I assume it's not like easy arm grab reach. Like, he'd probably have to take a step or two, I imagine.
Fuck it. He failed. He spends a rage
Ooh.
and just poof, right there, right in front of her face. But doesn't do anything, but it's almost a lean for, you know what I mean?
I mean, she can't pretend it doesn't startle the hell out of her. She wasn't. There's a lot of things Charlotte is prepared for, but impulse rage spends are not one of them.
But he doesn't do anything. He just stops. But he's like right there. You know what I mean? That is how hard it is.
There's a slow knot. Just a very careful, slow knot.
I don't want you to leave. But
You doubt yourself if I stay?
yes.
You're probably right. I should probably go. 'Cause I don't want to do that to you. Not fair. But you will slowly. Slowly go ahead and draw herself up again because let's face it, she did that little like lean back. At least for a moment. And yeah, it's that I'm a big brave girl, kind of holds in the breath and gives a little nod. Very small. Starts to turn to go get her coat.
He just stands there, numb, watching. Doesn't take his eyes off you though.
Mm. Yep. She will just go and no quick movements because Jesus Christ, he is on a trigger right now. Go to get her coat. Probably just leave it flopped over her arm for the moment. And god damn it, she wants to anything, but touching him will probably set him off again. It has never worked out for her in the past. She'll pause before she heads out, like in that kind of, well, the entry area or whatever's closest without breaking that line of sight. But again, it's that needs a second to process. Once is over. Sorry. Keep hurting you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like you to stay, but
He pauses. Because he said, I said I'd like you to stay.
yep, but
She just her teeth again and thinks about it, but it's too renewable a resource, really. For her to just ask him to blow out his rage. Like I can't ever come back around.
you know what I mean.
Hmm?
You know what I mean.
She nods. It just, as she's getting ready to head out, thank you for dinner. For being honest with me. And yeah, if he doesn't have anything for it, we'll just, reach for the handle and go to very gently let herself out.
Yeah, you close the door, and you hear that poor guy fucking rage flip that entire fucking. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Damon. Yeah, there will be a moment where she waits on the step just to make sure it doesn't get to a certain degree audibly, anyways.
Oh, that is a man. Oof. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Oof.
Yep, she will probably stand there long enough for him to have blown out the rage at least. Shouldn't take too long.
Oh, that's going beyond rage, Katie. I'll put it like that.
Yep, and he's still wrecking the house.
Yep. Oh yes, very much so.
Yep, this is a moment kind of like back at the clearing where she just stands there and makes herself listen to it. Because she did that. And she will probably not go ahead and very quietly pick her way off the porch and out back to her car until either until the crashing stops or she sees a familiar set of headlights.
Oh, it stops. One of the windows is broken though.
Whew.
It just.
Not good. But no headlights.
Nope. You get the impression he probably blocked off his backlink.
Probably. Which is, in its own special way, concerning. And I hate myself for doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Oh God, what are you doing?
I'm not doing that. I am not running back in. Thankfully,
Are,
her senses are
are you?
reasonably.
Are you? I don't know. What are you doing, Katie?
No. Her senses are reasonably dull and Hamid. She's just gonna pause, especially if the window's crashed open, to see if she smells any. Like, if she can smell blood in Hamid, it's a lot of blood.
Yeah. I'll put it like that. Yeah. I mean, hitting glass enough. Yeah. There's at least you can smell copper. Not tons of it, but you know what I mean.
I mean, yeah, he raged out and hurt himself, but she's not like getting a strong enough kind of whiff to give her the impression that he's in serious hurt.
It's kind of half and half. You reckon it's something that can't be fixed with a fucking form shift?
Okay. Yep. She pauses and just, it's that slow intake.
But
Yep.
man, those fucking yells, though, man. Whoa.
Yep.
Hang on. Let me put it into perspective, right? I want you to, after the scene, watch all this music video, and you'll understand.
All right, let me click it over there just so I have it for easy access. All right. Yeah. Once she is sure that he is not bleeding himself out on the floor, she will, yeah, very, very quietly head back to her car.
Yep.
And crying it. Yeah. All right. Anything else you'd like to do, bud?
No.
All right. Well then, thank you players for playing and watchers for watching. And we will see you next time in this life.